Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Nation pregame show. I'm Josh, this is Jay. We're coming off a big win versus the Ottawa Senators last night. We are live on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. As always, the pregame show is brought to you by Nation Beer. As you can see it here, we're hoping to have the video sorted out today. It should come through looking nice. It hasn't updated on my phone yet, but once it does, I'm going to look down and hope it looks good. Jay, before we get rolling on tonight's game, your initial thoughts on last night's game versus the Sens?
I just felt like we controlled that game right from the get-go. We bent a bit but never broke. We had good goaltending. We scored on ourselves, so we spotted one on Ottawa, and got some key saves to keep us in the game. That we weren't getting before. Like that breakaway save was huge, because if that game goes 2-0, that's a completely different mountain to climb. So I felt like we were super in control, and just we got in front of a hot goalie in Matt Murray. He played really good. That could have been a bloodbath out there, but the Oilers deserved to win that game. I was really happy defensively. We didn't give up too many crazy chances, and yeah, also Jujar, welcome back, buddy. Fuck, you're playing good, man. I'm so happy to have you back. Way to come and set the tone of that game with a fight. That gets the emotional level up. That gets the team fired up. That was just so refreshing to see. And then also your play on the ice is great. I hope this is who you are for the rest of the season, man. I'm glad. It's welcome back, because we need you.
Yeah. Jujar Kara more like Zach Kassian, because he was really doing what we've been begging Zach Kassian to do for the last 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden, after yesterday, I'm ranting about it. You're having a little bit of emotion about Zach Kassian. Not really.
Very emotional.
Very emotional. About Zach Kassian not doing anything, and then he did it last night, and he broke his hand.
Yeah, somebody. But you know what? That was a great tilt. Branson is definitely a heavyweight, but so is Matt Kassian, and I guess a nouveau heavyweight. So that was a great tilt. It was good to see him. It would have been nice to see, if he didn't get hurt, how he would have played the rest of the game, if that would have woke him up. Because, he's due to score here. But don't worry, he's back in 10 days. Hopefully he's rejuvenated. So Jujar sparked the fire, and then Kassian came, and then maybe that woke up the bear, right?
Yep.
So.
Okay, it looks like our audio is doing great. Video sucks again. We still haven't fixed it. The video still sucks. People in the comments are saying this video quality is about as good as Hoberg is in net for the Sens. Jay, I can sense you're disappointed. People in the comments are blaming it on the little brick Wi-Fi. That's on you, Jay.
Yeah, it could be. I was using Wi-Fi. I was on Zoom calls all day.
The first couple times we did this show, it worked perfect, and now all of a sudden it just doesn't want to work.
Yeah, man, that is very frustrating. We're sorry, everyone.
We'll figure it out eventually, and we appreciate you that are sticking with us. We know that sometimes it can make our viewers drop a little bit with our crappy video quality, but we appreciate you people that stick with us even throughout
We
the
are
trials.
determined to figure this out. We're
going to figure this out. We went through the decade of darkness. We can figure out some crappy video.
I think so.
All right. Heading over to our lineups. Goalie talk. Of course, the first start of the season last night for Mike Smith after being injured and not getting into any game action up until this point. Jay, I talked about it on State of the Nation this afternoon. I was very, very happy with Mike Smith's performance last night. And I think even separated apart from his ability in the crease, I thought one part that shined for me was just the puck playing ability.
It just stood out. I guess we haven't seen it in so long. It just stood out. It gives us a sixth player on the ice sometimes, right? When pucks come in deep, for him to come out play, be able to make a pass. Granted, that's also his demise sometimes, but last night his puck play was phenomenal, and like Josh said, so noticeable.
Yeah, so noticeable. And Dave Tippett has touched on this in the past, but the ability for Mike Smith to come out of the crease and play the puck like that, it really does take a load off the defenseman.
100%.
It really does. And more than you would even think, because, it's less so much of the defenseman having to cycle behind the net so much when they're picking up and retrieving pucks. And a lot of the time with Mikko Koskinen, he'll stop the puck up, but then it's the defenseman's job to come behind the net and pick it up, whereas both defensemen can just stagger on each side, and Smith will distribute it each way. So we're going to see Mikko Koskinen, in the crease tonight. Jay, I know a little tiny part of you was thinking like, why not give Mike Smith
Why
another
not?
game?
You know, like
Why not
get him some games.
Why
You
not
know,
let the 65-year-old go back to back?
I get normally you back to back you don't do it, but he played well enough. Unless the plan is that we are going to put Smith in net against Montreal, then I can kind of subscribe to that. But yeah, like hot hand. Like Mikko's tired.
Yeah.
Like it's not like he's gotten that much rest, and maybe he needs a little bit more time. So I question the call, but the big thing is the team in front of the goalie last night played better, especially defensively. So if we can do that again tonight, Mikko will make the saves that we need, and hopefully Hogberg is who we think he is, and that same effort that we did last night turns into more goals on the score sheet today.
But that's the reality of the NHL. Most of the time, it's a goalie not going back-to-back. They'll split it. Mikko Koskinen will get the start tonight. We're suspecting that Hogberg, however you pronounce his name, is going to get the start tonight. I heard on the radio driving here that there was some speculation that they were considering starting Murray again. I haven't seen it confirmed.
Wait. They're going to go with the hot goalie back-to-back when they need wins?
Whoa. Oh, that would be a
Yeah.
hot take by the Sens. I have a feeling it's going to be Hogberg going tonight. I haven't seen it confirmed either way. But anyways, let's jump into the lineup for tonight. A couple things we do know. Ethan Bear, once again, will not be in the lineup tonight, as well as Zach Kassian. After that fight last night with Eric Branson, it looks like he might have injured his hand. Following that scrap, he did not return to the game. Zach Kassian placed on the LTIR. He's going to be out a minimum of 10 days. So that's going to obviously lead us to some lineup adjustments here. Alex Chason going to draw back into the lineup tonight. And one player, Jay, that I thought had a great game last night, and obviously a lot of people would agree because he scored a goal, Tyler Ennis. That line looked awesome yesterday.
He looked good. Well, he should have two. Like that was that short side shot that hit the post. Like that was filthy. Like I wish I went in because those goals are just sick. So yeah, it was good to have Ennis back. Like we know he's got offensive upside, right? We know there's a skilled player there. So it was good for him to show up. Former team. Maybe that elevates him. So happy to see him back in the lineup tonight, and expect big things. That line was awesome.
And I think I talked about this on State of the Nation this afternoon as well. One thing that we haven't been spoiled with in the past as Oilers fans is having that depth where players can draw in and out of the lineup. And when those players do draw into the lineup, there's a good chance that they could contribute in one way or another. Tyler Ennis, that's a guy who hadn't been in the lineup in a few games, and all of a sudden he draws in, and he's arguably one of the best players on the ice for you all night. So that's just the things that are becoming a reality for this team, especially on the back end and the defense. We have a plethora of right shot defensemen right now, and we're just trying to get them all in the lineup right now. Obviously, it's different with Ethan Bear being injured, but it's something that we haven't had in the past, Jay, and it's nice to have depth.
Yeah, I don't know how to react because it's so weird.
Yeah, I can tell you.
I'm
just
like, what is this? What's he talking about?
Yeah.
This is a different language. But no, it's good. We need that because not every game the top two lines are going to be firing. Like Connor almost didn't have a point last night. Not that he played bad, he just almost didn't have a point last night. So we need Ennis to score. We need, I guess Archibald scores because Connor puts that on a tee because he's a selfless, good captain.
I feel like they're buddies. I feel like McDavid and Archibald just have it.
There's a connection there, man.
You've tweeted about it before. I know
there's
you have.
There's a connection there.
There is.
I feel like if we're down and we need a spark, I swear you double shift McDavid and with Archibald, and they can make magic happen. Archibald knows where to go, and he's been pretty successful as a trigger man for McDavid.
Yeah.
So yeah, just that's a nice second option.
Okay, my next headline here on the right-hand side is Oilers mood. I wanted to touch more so, Jay, on just kind of the new instilled, I want to say, emotion that we saw in last night's game. Obviously, Jujhar Khaira dropping the gloves a minute and a half in, and then 2 seconds later, Zach Kassian obviously having his first scrap of the season. Do you think that that's the kind of mood and the kind of vibe that this team needs to have going forward? Do you think there needs to be a little more chippiness and scrappiness?
The Oilers we saw last night, that was a team that came in to win a hockey game. Like that is like they went they played a good game, but they set the tone. They came into an opposing team's barn and just said we're not going to get pushed around, and really got that instilled that early on in the game, and then just played hard. Like the Sens played well last night. They had a hot goalie. They were pesky as shit, and we didn't break to that. We just met it with even harder effort from our end. And it was a matter of time where the math was going to make sense for us, and we were going to get a few past Murray. Like, he played great last night, and that's the only thing that really, that game could have been 5-1 quite easily.
Yeah.
And also all the posts that we had, so many posts, which is fine because we won the game. But that was a team that came in with a game plan, and I just felt the whole time that they were going to win that game.
And I feel like there would have been a lot of easy moments in that game for the Oilers, similar to a fashion we've seen them do in the past, is, you're facing the hot goalie, you're peppering them all game, and you can't get one past them, and, kind of the foot comes off the gas, you're kind of sitting back a little bit, like, woe is us, we can't get one past them, we're facing a hot goalie, it's inevitable, what's going to happen? That is what would happen for a past Oilers team, but we didn't see it last night. Zach Lang wrote about it on Oilersnation this morning. That was a full 60-minute performance for the Oilers, and that's all we can be satisfied with.
Yeah, so I hope this is kind of the new normal. Obviously, it's impossible to be like that every night, but these are must-win games. Like, we have to beat Ottawa.
Yep.
Right. Ottawa is last place in the league. And granted, they beat Montreal, they beat Toronto, but these are must-win games because this is us banking points and getting points up on the field and keeping a safe position in the standings. So, but this isn't going to be gifted to us. Ottawa's going to be hard playing. They're kind of a little bit more motivated now. They're a different team than they were last week. That was proven last night. So it's still going to require a solid effort. And let's get into the motion. Like, we got Montreal coming up on Thursday, right?
Yep.
So let's act as if we're playing Montreal tonight and just really kind of reinstill those habits that we displayed last night. We got to keep those up because that is what's going to allow us to win a lot of hockey games.
Oilers won 4 of their last 5. McDavid stays hot last night, continues on his scoring streak. Feel free to send us some questions here in the chat. I know there's some people still hanging with us on Facebook, Twitter. Go ahead, send us some questions. We are thankful to those of you that are still sticking around despite the video problems we're having. I should say, Puljujärvi is getting some love in the comment section right now. Montana says, if everyone on the team back-checked as hard as Pool Party, we'd be above 500. Pool Party and Yamamoto, they push the pace for this team.
They back-check. The one thing I'll give also Pool Party is very interesting. He's like a surgeon with his stick in terms of getting the puck back or stripping guys. Like, he's really good with his stick. Like, he's definitely got some really strong defensive elements, but that's good. Like, it's good to have Yamamoto and Puljujärvi pushing that back checking because that's infectious, right? So it's great that they're doing all that, and